There you see OJ Simpson standing between his two lawyers, Gabe Grasso on your right and Yale Galanter there on the left of your screen to Mr. Simpson's right. Mr. Simpson finds himself yet again in a criminal court of law facing down charges with a fine lawyer by his side. Yale Galanter has represented Mr. Simpson successfully for years. And Yale, we're so pleased to have you on with us here on The Best Defense. I promised you some tough questions, so here's one. What was OJ thinking? I mean, even if he didn't do anything wrong, as of course you and Mr. Grasso maintain, and I've said I believe on this program, it certainly wasn't the smartest thing for OJ Simpson to do, especially given that he has to know he's a target.
Oh, I agree with you, Jamie, and I've been asked this question a lot, and I don't know what he was thinking. I think he used poor judgment. I think he's very... he's a very affable individual, and I think the public perception and the reality are two completely different things. I mean, this is a guy who bends over backwards to accommodate people. He's always given autographs, shaking hands. He likes being in public. He likes people. I think he relied a lot on what Riccio was telling him was supposed to occur, about the fact that he was going to find, pictures of his mom, pictures of his dad, the J. Edgar Hoover trophy. These were things that he had been looking for that were stolen out of his house many years prior. And I think instead of thinking with his head, he was acting with his heart because these had such emotional and sentimental value to him. And you see what happens.
Yeah, and I noticed that you
not only did it turn into this media frenzy, but look, the books and the publishing rights and the money that's being made off of this is just incredible.
And I wanted to bring up Mr. Riccio. You mentioned him. It seems you can't talk about the case without talking about him. He's at the center of every conversation, and yet somehow, Yale, he's not charged with anything. I bet you'll have a good time questioning Mr. Riccio on the witness stand, huh?
Yeah, I did. Listen, I enjoyed questioning him at the preliminary hearing.
We enjoyed watching.
I'm looking forward to questioning him again. But, the point is, I mean, there's so many characters here, and everybody is trying to sell a story, write a book, get a movie contract, and it's just amazing to me. I've never seen anything like it.
It is fascinating, and I've never seen anything like what we're seeing in this case with the number of books, contracts, television appearances, people fanning out on Larry King Live before a case has even been filed, people who aren't supposed to be in Las Vegas letting their parole, or I guess I should say probation officers, know where they are by going on Larry King. I mean, that's just bizarre. But there is an important question that I think applies to other cases, Yale. We like our coverage to have relevance to other cases, and that's this question of evidence provided by lay people, videotapes, photographs taken with cell phones, and audio tapes made in this case by Mr. Riccio, but obviously it's becoming an issue more and more. These aren't surveillance videos entirely. We do have those, of course, from the hotel, but with the modern electronic age, it seems that defense attorneys and prosecutors are going to have to grapple more and more with this kind of evidence.
Oh, I agree. I mean, your phone conversations can be recorded, your private meetings can be recorded, with all these spy shops that are opening up in every corner in America. You've really got to be very careful about, A, what you say, who you say it to, your personal security issues, as we've seen on the news all the time. This is part of our modern-day society, and the information age is getting more liberal and much freer. Yeah.
What are you looking for, with that in mind, Yale, and so much more, what are you looking for in your jury, and are you confident you can get a fair jury for Mr. Simpson?
We believe that we will be able to get a fair and impartial jury. We think it's going to take some time. We think that the questionnaires that all the sides are working on are definitely a step in the right direction. We like the process that Judge Glass is going to employ in terms of when she's going to distribute the questionnaires, how they're going to be filled out, the response time that we're going to have. So we think that, obviously, we've designed the questionnaires to put questions in that could ferret out people we think that have ulterior motives or prejudices that they won't be able to put aside.
You talked about book deals, and jurors have been known in other cases to write a book or two. Hey, Yale, I know I'm going to lose you. Final question for you. What do you want people on both sides of what I call the OJ Simpson divide? What do you want them to keep in mind as this thing heats up and gets underway?
Well, I want people to keep in mind that you can't presume anything. That's why we have the system that we have, and keep an open mind until all is said and done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the key. You know, the biggest problem I have is that over the past 10 years, people have developed such strong, unwavering opinions about my client, and that's the most difficult thing I have to do with. Now, some of the opinions are in his favor. A lot of the opinions, most of them, the national polls show us, are against Mr. Simpson. And from my point of view, I need him to be judged on what happened at the Palace Station in the middle of September as it plays out on September 8th in Judge Glass's courtroom. That's all I'm asking. All
right, and there is one thing folks should presume, Yale, right? In a sense, that's the presumption
Absolutely.
we have in this country. All right, it's such a treat to have you on. I know how busy you are. I do wish you luck in this and everything else you're doing, and we hope we can have you back again real soon.
Thanks, Jamie. My pleasure to talk to you.
My pleasure, too, Yale. That's Yale Galanter, of course, joining us live here on Best Defense, and we'll bring him to you as often as we can, given his busy schedule and ours. Now, you heard Yale speak with great law